Very good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to an episode here on the Life Signatures Radio. We are in the middle of a series. We're talking about reputation, why it is important to care about our reputations as human beings. The lions don't worry about their reputations. They don't care. They don't give a damn. They don't give a hoot. The warthogs don't even know something called reputation. It's the human beings who worry about their reputations. Of course, someone will say there's a peacock. A peacock cares about how she looks and so on. Or there's a particular animal that is so, I think it's called the anim or whatever it is, that it's so particular about its white fur. It could rather be captured than have its white fur soiled. Cares about its reputation. But the point I'm making here is that as human beings, we cannot neglect our reputations. And for several reasons, we've been doing that. So I want to continue talking about that in the episode today. It's a daily show, this one, on purpose, productivity, and resilience, where we normally do this on every single working day. And we deploy it in messages that are coming in series. So today is one of those messages. And in this episode, we look at one more reason why we should care about our reputation. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Obviously, I've got to do a recap for you so that we can be on the same page and we can know where we've been coming from. Number one, we operate with each other on the basis of trust. If there is no trust, then we cannot do business, we cannot do life. And therefore, if you have a reputation that is trustworthy, a trustworthy reputation, then you look forward to doing life with as many people as possible. But if your reputation is not good, there is going to be a problem. So reputation helps create trust. A good reputation helps create trust. Secondly, a good reputation helps you to get endorsements and recommendations and all that stuff. We never recommend, we never endorse people with bad reputations. We don't even want to be identified with them. We drop them like hot potato. If your reputation is bad, or someone is peddling, and that's why, by the way, in courts, people normally get libel, right? If someone tries to character assassinate you, or they try to do something, they try to say something and peddle something that is not necessarily the truth about you, you can sue them top dollar in the courts of law, not just in the United States of America, but also in many countries. It's a serious thing that is also being catered for by the law. We don't recommend people with bad reputations. So if you find someone soiling your reputation, please make sure you do something about it. If it's true, change your ways. If it's not, make sure that you go at all lengths to rectify that. Number three, we trust reputations to give us partnerships and collaborations. Nobody collaborates with you, nobody partners with you if your reputation is soiled. You don't do the same. I mean, when is the last time you were in cahoots in business with someone whose reputation was known to be a bad one? When is the last time? I don't remember. I don't think you have that kind of what do they call it? You have that kind of courage to encourage yourself to be in a relationship with someone, whether it's business or life, someone whose reputation is soiled. Fourth, we saw that our reputation is key in our advancement. If you look at your life, many things you will see in your life, and you will be able to derive the fact that those things are available in your life because your reputation was good. Now, number 5, we talked about favor. Reputation helps you to obtain favor. Favor is something that is so sweet. It's a fragrance, we said. There is no way you're getting favor with a bad reputation. All of us at some point in time we need favor. You know, favor is that thing that goes past your academic papers. Is that thing that goes wafts inside a room where you're not even there. You're not even there to defend yourself, but favor is doing the Lord's work for you. And you cannot have this coming to you if your reputation is spoiled and is soiled. Now today, a reputation, I'm going to talk about it from the angle of branding. When we started doing these episodes, this series, I specifically said I'm going to avoid talking about personal branding so that I can clearly state how reputation is important. But I cannot run away from personal branding at the end of the day. You see, one way or another, a good reputation causes you to stand out. We live in a world that is littered with copycats, copy and pasting, right? At every turn. See, authenticity is one of the rarest things you ever saw on the earth today. Today, in the world of content creation, people copy and paste what other people have said. I've been in situations where I'm attending a talk and someone has gone and they have watched Miles Monroe. They're basically vomiting what they have heard from Miles Monroe, and they're not giving any credit to Miles Monroe. And I've wanted to walk out of those meetings because the people are phony, they are not authentic. But you see, it sends a bad rap on them and their reputation. If I find that you've copied and pasted someone else's work, you know what I'm going to think about you? Rightfully so. You're empty, you're not deep. You lack substance, you lack originality, you lack authenticity, you are a cheat. But if you are doing these things, you're sweating blood, sweat and tears, and you come up with the original quotes. By the way, I normally post my own original quotes, and I think I need to up the ante as far as that is concerned. I have slackened a little bit. I post my own original quotes. These are coming when I am deep within the immersion of doing what I am doing, helps me to generate my own authenticity. And this one causes me to stand out. I've had people quoting me at some point in time. It causes me to stand out. You never saw, the aspect of authenticity is the rarest thing you ever saw on the face of the earth. That's why a good reputation will be a bridge to this kind of life. It kind of scratches the CD. It's a breath of fresh air when you have a good reputation to you and to your pursuits. If you are running a business, a good reputation will go a long way in distinguishing you from your quote-unquote competitors. Remember, this is very key to remember. I mentioned this in one of the episodes in this series. I said, your competitors are not your enemy. People normally do business, and you might say you're not a businessman, you might not know what you're talking about. But let me tell you this, the worst you can do is to make your competitor your enemy. Your enemy is the solution, the thing that stands between you and the solution you want to give to your customer. That's your enemy. Now, if you make your competitor your enemy, it's going to spoil your reputation one way or another. If your competitor is the yardstick, then solutions are not necessarily the authenticity they're going to be coming up with in the market. If someone goes left, you also go left. Someone goes right, you also go right. You forget that the aspect, the reason, what matters is the reason behind what you're doing. That is what matters. So if you're going to focus on what really matters, it ups your integrity and your authenticity, and therefore your reputation is increased even in the eyes of those people that you're trying to help. And therefore it makes to stand out. If anything, that reputation will keep earning you more and more for as long as you are consistently making it better. You're polishing that reputation by doing what matters, not by competing with the competitor. If you were to be placed on the same platform with someone who has a reputation and you don't, you know very well that it will go for them and it will not go for you. It will be them that will be picked. Therefore, stop stooping low to compete and just continue offering value. People are most inclined to choose those ones who are offering value, those ones who are known to have a good reputation. In other words, we live in a world that, is as permissive as any. People have myriads of choices to make on a daily basis. And when it comes to making a choice between you, 2 or 3 people, they will always be biased towards the person who has a great reputation, and that is nearly 99% of the time. Therefore, if I am to be chosen, one way or another, canvassing is not the key. You're looking at longevity. Some people normally do business just for one transaction. If you cheat me in one transaction, you will gain the $50 that you cheated me for once. And that will be about it. I will go tell my wife, tell my neighbors, tell my friends to avoid you like a plague. Your reputation has been soiled. But if in a long way you spend your time, your effort and so on, and you create value, and I pay you $70 and you over deliver, then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back to you whenever I need you. You become my go-to person. There's a particular guy who was my mechanic. He got me in a place where I was stuck on the road, and he happened to be the nearest mechanic around. And so he became, because he was near my home, he became like a guy who was always repairing my car. But then I found that he was being funny. He will go to buy parts and he puts in funny parts. And from that moment on, he was looking at that particular pay for that particular moment in time. Right now, my car still needs help from time to time. But I don't go to him. Why? Because he spoiled his reputation. But there's a guy who stands out above him because he's honest. There's some time he even does pro bono work for me. He's honest. His reputation has made him to stand out. And guess what I'm always doing? Every time there's someone out there asking, where can I find a mechanic? I will never, in a million years, recommend the guy who did me bad. But I'm always recommending the other one because his reputation is standing out above. And by the way, if you go to his garage, you find big time cars, hybrids and all that stuff. People of big valuable cars are entrusting those cars to him. So much so that he's even spruced up his garage is looking very, very nice because he's standing out. His reputation precedes him. That is why we need to worry about our reputations. You guys who are always going for those one transaction. You cheat, you cajole, you nag for one transaction, for one sale, and you say, I've closed that sale. Yeah, you've closed it. It's closed. You're not going to go back again. One transaction. So let us work on standing out instead of fitting in or instead of looking for one transaction. Let's play the long game. Tomorrow we close this series. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.